Dr. Hector Izquierdo, thank you so much for joining us today. I know you've just come out of surgery, haven't you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Sarah, again for inviting me for this conversation that I really enjoy. I'm doing fine. Operation was good, and I'm here to answer your questions.
Well, I promise not to keep you for too long, but I just wanted to pick your brains today about the topic of egg donation. This is something we get asked a lot about. So before I fire loads of questions at you, can you just explain in very, very simple terms what egg donation means?
Egg donation means no other than a woman who has no eggs for herself, who apply for someone else to give her the biggest present of her life and give her some eggs that we can fertilize and return to her in order for she to be a mother.
And is there, so you say it's for a woman who doesn't have any eggs of her own. Is that like kind of the only reason that you should go directly for egg donation?
No, there are many reasons that make you suitable for an egg donation. One of those, having yourself genetical issues that you don't want to pass by to your babies. That would be a solution, the egg donation. Let's say you discover you have in your family very complicated history with a lot of mutations, genetic mutations. You decide, okay, I want to be a mother, and I want to have healthy babies, and I want to live in a good future. Then you can apply for the egg donation. You can study the donor, and you can have a baby without any of this genetic charge that you may have. Other situation can be a woman who has underlying a bad answer to a stimulation or a low reserve who's producing lousy eggs. Then an egg donation is a problem. A woman who has been removed her ovaries or it's been born without them, it's also possible, can also apply for that. I have many patients like these women that were born physically as women, but genetically are men, and they want to have a baby, they have an uterus, and then they can apply for the egg donation and become a mother. Other situation might be women that are a bit older, have eggs but of really bad quality, who end up always miscarrying due to genetic issues. Those women can also apply for an egg donation. I think there are pretty much all of them included there.
And I know last time we spoke about AMH and low AMH. So if a woman has low AMH, should she should she assume that egg donation is probably going to be the only route for her, or should she try with her own eggs first?
I'm very bad for categoric answers, Sarah. I cannot tell any woman you're not going to be successful being a mother with your own eggs, other than when she has the ovaries or something like that, really, really dramatic. In the rest of the times, I just explain them that there are two ways, one roughy, complicated, and one easier. A woman with a low AMH has two problems. They're going to have a low reserve, they're going to produce less eggs, and they're going to produce eggs from less quality. Therefore, their journey with their own eggs might be whether too hard or not successful at all. And that's why I tell them, if you want to succeed easily and soon, then egg donation is a much better way. But saying someone that something is impossible, it's something for me really hard to say, because I've seen miracles so many times than telling someone, no, it doesn't work. I'm not arrogant enough to think that the only truth is my truth. That's a discussion that has always happened with my patients, and I let them decide which journey is their journey.
Because we had a message the other day from a woman who was in her, I think she was 44, and she's single, and she desperately wants a child, and she hasn't gone for any testing yet. And she asked the question, is it likely that I'm probably just going to have to go straight for donor eggs?
So the answer for her is following. Patient, whose name I don't know, go to your gynecologist, perform an AMH, and with your period in the next 3 days after it begins, make a scan with the anti-follicle count. With this information, choose a gynecologist of your thoughtful to ask him what they see in this information, and they're going to guide you. What we should tell this woman from the very beginning is, other than saying that the egg donation is the only way, we must assure that the egg donation is the easiest way, because it avoids you from all this testing, many cycles, stimulation cycles. It makes it easier and faster. That's definitely true.
I think for a lot of women though, they almost want to know that they at least tried. Obviously, time and money is always such an epic, a factor. But a lot of women also do say to us, I just need to know. It might just work with my own. So there's that sort of weighing up. Do I just quickly try? I say quickly, it's not exactly quick, but do you know what I mean? A lot of women want to just at least know.
And that I totally understand. That's why I tell you, I cannot say it's impossible.
Yeah.
What's reasonable is another thing. And my patients, if they come with a low AMH, well, I tell them, okay, we make an attempt. And if this attempt shows some sort of success, we may try further. But we don't, we know what's a backup plan. But if I see that the patient is getting obsessed with trying something that's not going to lead her in a positive way, there's also my work to tell her, that's not your way. You're just burning yourself and reducing your chance of being a mother. Because that's the other thing. Every time I transfer an embryo, that's not healthy. And a woman ends up miscarrying and reducing her cumulative chance of getting pregnant at the end. Therefore, we need to take care of that as well. Trying to transfer blind embryos as we did in the past. Like, I'm 40, cycle, obtaining embryo, transfer it, miscarrying, doing the same and the same and the same. Just end up reducing the chances of this woman of getting pregnant. What we need to do is transfer effectively embryos. Embryos that I know are healthy and in the position of producing a pregnancy. Because other than that, more than helping in damaging the patient.
And if you is it possible to say how much the success rate jumps to if you go with a donor egg?
Of course, it's very easy to say. In my clinic here at IBF, my personal statistic is all patients around 40 to 50 years old, it's a very bright area, who attempt IVF cycles. In a fresh cycle with a fresh transfer, get pregnant, 75% of them in the first attempt.
Wow.
And after 3 attempts, we come to 90%.
Wow.
That's really good. And that's why most of them, they get really good prepared, and we get to work with some issues that might sometimes undiscovered, problems in the womb, problems with the hormones, problems with the thyroid. We get it fit to the point, and then we transfer, and we're pretty successful. Nevertheless, not all women are going to get pregnant with egg donation. That's also something that I say from the very beginning, because I don't like to lie to anyone. And although the reproductive medicine has evolved so rapidly, we're still not successful making everyone pregnant. We still have some women that we cannot make pregnant.
And if you do go for egg donation, how do you know that donor egg is going to be genetically compatible with you or your partner?
Genetically compatible, it's something we really need to stay very low and not so strong. There's not such a thing as genetic compatibility. All women who got pregnant naturally are getting pregnant with an embryo that's half not hers.
Yes, yeah.
Therefore, then saying that a half not hers embryo and totally not hers embryo for the immunology, once something is not yours, you're going to react. Independent, it's 15%, 40%, 50%, 90%, 100%. Your body just acknowledges mine, not mine. What percentage of it is yours? It's something your body cannot decide. More than that, what we need to see is that your immune system is normal And normally, naturally, women allow an embryo who's not yours to develop properly.
Mm.
If you're not succeeding in this way, what we need to do is to take care of the immune system, not of the embryo, because the embryo we cannot change. If you're not with genetics from good quality, therefore we need to have embryos from an egg donation.
Yes.
Then say you okay, you seem to be with immune system isolated, then don't be a mother. That's not an answer. We just need to focus on preparing your immunology to accept and acknowledge this embryo. And that's something we succeed most of the time.
I think one of the biggest, there's so many fears that we hear from couples and single people when they're just about to, when they're making the decision whether or not to have egg donation. And a lot of the fear comes from the men. We've had a lot of men who say to us, I want a child, but I want a child that, I wanted to have children with my wife. I want it to be my wife's child. So there's a lot of psychological barriers, for the couples. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with that conflict?
That's a really good question, and that's pretty much my hardest work at the moment, because that's not definitely true. That's something that's been told to you, that just a baby is yours if it comes from your ovary and you get pregnant from your man. And that's a lot of bad feelings, guilt, non-personal feelings there that are not right. If you ask me about genetics, I might need to tell you that in between one guy that's 1 meter 90 centimeters and blue-eyed, totally different to me, the difference in our genetics is just 0.1% our genetics. That's the only difference in between the two of us.
Wow.
Therefore, telling someone that the genetics are really important is something I don't really believe in. What makes us different is too little, and it's just not the genetics. The women have also a medical power, and it's called epigenetics. Women are in the position of changing the genetics of the embryo inside of the womb.
Wow.
You change the genetics of your baby when you're pregnant. And that's not something magical. I'm trying to think to make you feel better. That's scientifically proved. Our DNA is a language that's rather redundant. It has a lot of paper, but what really makes us, it's a couple of pages. The other part of the language is covered with manipulation. What you can do in the pregnancy is changing from this big code what's going to be shown, yes or no. And as much as you can damage your baby, not eating properly, smoking, drinking in the pregnancy, you can you can give your baby all your information as well. I'm not telling with this that if you make a test, you're going to see a baby that's genetically yours. I'll be lying. But you transform this baby into your family. And that's something that surprised a lot of the patients after they're pregnant, after having babies, because they see them and they tell us, Hector, I've been told a lot that this girl is my clone, and it cannot be. Yes, it can be. I'm absolutely sure that in some sort of way, you print in your babies your information as well. First thing. Second thing, how you are part of their education. We're people, we humankind, are custom, are more than just a genetic, would evolve in different ways. And therefore, babies, they behave like a family, and they grow to be part of it, independent of adoption, egg donation, and other things. I believe the major problem here is culture, religion, and society telling you what's true and it's not truth.
That is so hugely comforting to hear.
Yeah, because I'm very happy to know that people your age are getting more in touch with that, get more information, hear more about it. It's about normalizing something that's really natural and that we won't be able to change. Humankind is going in a whole different direction of the nature. We're supposed to have babies in between 18 and 25 years old. We are not allowed to have babies at this age. We're still in school, we're going to the university, we're looking for a job, we don't have a couple. Therefore, we're going to be needing more and more egg donation. That's natural. And more than giving problems to that, what we need to do is support and be more donors and donate ourselves for people in the future. So when we go there, someone else can donate for me. It must be more social engagement who tell us that it's part of our life. And if we want to follow this journey we're going and evolving in our careers, in our jobs, in our family decisions, therefore, we need to get in touch with this situation that might come to us. And it's not that bad.
So you're seeing a massive increase, are you, in egg donation?
Not, it is yet to come, even more.
Yeah. I always think there's such comfort gained from, you know, strength in numbers, and hearing that more and more people are doing it is just, it's quite a comforting thing for anyone, you know, considering donation. And what about the physical appearance? Because again, that's another fear. But I know a lot of people travel to you from abroad. So but are your donors, are all your donors Spanish?
Two things about that. I believe that's the benefit from Spain. Spain don't allow you to make choices about the donor. In East European countries, you get to choose your donor. And we humankind, we're really funny because we want babies to be ours, but we want them to be better. Then if you get asked what for a donor you have, perhaps if you ask me, I will say, okay, I'm 1 meter 73 centimeters. I'll say, okay, perhaps if he will be 1 meter 80, a bit more tan, blue eyes, and you get this feeling you want to choose what you want, but you want still to be yours. In Spain, that's not possible. Whether I, not you, can decide what the baby is going to look like, because I need to supply you with a donor that looks just like you. Same eye color, same skin color, same hair color. The other thing is, yeah, we're in Spain. Couple of our donors are Spain, but we're also in Alicante. And all this Mediterranean coast is no longer Spain. We are living in metropole Europe. People from all around Europe move in these countries, and we have a lot of population from other countries. Scandinavian donors, we have North European donors, East European donors, South European donors, African donors, North African donors. We have a lot of people because, happy to say this, Alicante is just wonderful. There's a lot of people living here from all around the world, and that make us possible to have donors for pretty much everyone.
And so it's an anonymous donation, so you don't get to know the donor. In terms of, like, you know, the legal sense, if you are going for egg donation, do you have to get your contracts drawn up? Do you need a lawyer, or do you do all that?
We do everything, and that's just thanks to the Spanish law. The Spanish law is very clear, and it's based on 2 principles. First of them, anonymity. In Spain, when you make a donation, you cannot track this donation back. Whether neither the receiver nor the donor can do anything with this donation. Therefore, the egg donation must be anonymous to protect both parties. The mother, to protect her from the donor trying to come to her and look for the baby, what would be impossible for her in the future. And the other part, the donor lady, if she donated the eggs, she was not willing to be a mother. Therefore, she's not wanting anyone who's 21 years old coming to her and tell her, hey, I've heard you're my mom. Therefore, to protect both of the parties, that must be anonymous, period. Because we humankind are very good till we're not good anymore, and we want something else.
Mm.
Therefore, in order to protect both parties, the best, easiest way is the anonymity. Second factor, the similarity. We need to supply you with a donor who's physically almost identical to you. Hair color, eye color, skin color, bone structure, body constitution, and that's something we cannot avoid. All donations are registered in Spain and go to the Spanish health minister, and they prove that the matches are correct. Therefore, it is not possible to choose. That's sometimes also an annoying situation because you see your type, and let's say, Zara, that you were married with a African guy, black skin, really tall, really muscular, and you come to me because he has those sperms and you need a donation. In this situation, I must tell you, Sarah, I'm really sorry that your baby is going to be Caucasian because I need to supply you with a sperm donor who look like you.
Yeah.
Everything what you get needs to be similar to you.
Yes.
In the egg donation situation, it's a benefit, but in sometimes can also be a problem for us.
Mm.
And the third factor that's also in the law is we need to do everything that's possible to make sure that these babies in the future are going to be genetically healthy. We need to test the donors to see that they have no diseases at the time and they're not carrying any diseases in their genetics that they can pass to the baby. With all that written, you don't need to get a lawyer because the law is already done. We just need to sign. We have been doing this conform to the Spanish law. Period.
It all sounds very thorough, and yeah. So all that pressure is taken away from you. So, in terms of waiting time, are there long waiting times for a donor?
We don't have waiting lists.
Really?
Not at all. The only waiting time we have, and that's something really important that I like to say as well, is I don't believe in frozen eggs. I believe, although you can freeze eggs from yourself in the future, and that might be suitable, frozen eggs from donation, I don't really like. How come? Because when you freeze an egg, and you defreeze them, a lot of the metabolic and enzymatic capacity of these eggs are not there anymore. Therefore, here at IPF, we work with fresh cycles. It means the only time you need to wait is for me to synchronize you and your donor. Therefore, being able at the moment of the transfer of stimulation the donor at the same time with you, retrieving the eggs from the donor, fertilizing with your husband, and then 5 days after, giving you a fresh embryo direct from the laboratory to you. That's the way we do it.
I did
That's
not.
the only thing that demands a bit of time. 7 weeks to 8 weeks. We need to organize that all stuff.
I did not know that. I thought all the eggs were frozen.
No.
My God, that's my ignorance. I honestly thought that.
It's not ignorance, it's what you're used to. That's how it works in the UK. You have huge lists, donors come to you, they give donations, they freeze them. Therefore, you cannot also do matching because there are the eggs that are there, and you have to take it as they are. Here, you have the possibility of looking for someone who looks like you and giving you a fresh cycle. That's why we have such a high success rate.
Wow.
That's our difference. That's our key, and that's something we really work on.
And so, if someone's interested in coming to you for egg donation, but they're just kind of having those initial discussions with their partner, can they call you and just have a chat through without, committing straight away? They can just ask questions and.
But that's the way we always do it. The first time we talk to patients is an online consultation. We are making any commitments to anything. That's something COVID has taught us. And then through Skype, Teams, Zoom, different options, we can arrange an appointment. In this appointment, explain my patients everything about egg donation, how it works, what we need to do, what they need to know, and then I give them a plan. They go to bed, sit in the sofa, have a glass of wine, think about it in the family. If they're happy, they confirm, and then we get going.
Yeah.
But at the very beginning, you're not committed to anything.
That's amazing. And I think because like I said, I had this email the other week from that couple who the husband was struggling. Can they, do you have, because basically counselling, do you have counsellors that they can speak to as well? I was just going to say what you said earlier was absolutely, you are so brilliant.
That's something I really believe in. I think we as doctors must get rid of this idea we're just medical doctors and that's it. We need to learn that we need to treat our patients in all aspects from their lives, social, familiar, psychological, and also medical. Therefore, sitting here and just telling you a couple of facts about what's egg donation, it's not my guilt, my goal. I need to know your fears. I need to know your problems. I need to help you as a couple. Well, I'm your consultant. I'm not just a doctor. Therefore, if you're there sitting and thinking, should I do this, yes or no, just contact us or any doctor that's in near of you and talk to them and open your fears. Perhaps you get some information that can push you to lose these fears and do what you really want to do, becoming a father or a mother.
You are so kind.
Thank
Honestly,
you.
it's so lovely to have a doctor who is just all encompassing and not just, you know, paper shuffling. It's really, really, really quite special.
I had really good teachers in my life, and I have a lot of patience. There's also my teachers. You learn from every single situation, and you get to know in this process how emotional it is to be there, how hard it is to lose the fear and take the mouse and just write an email. It's not easy to ask for help. We're humankind are a bit, how do you say that, pride
Mm.
in some situations, and we don't really like to say, okay, I may have a problem, and then I need in all medical sects, in all medical specializations, we need to help our patients to lose their fears and to be open to you. And if you cannot succeed in that, you're making something wrong.
Mm. Well, thank you so much for today, and it's just so informative. And so what I'll do is I'll say to people that if they've got any further questions about egg donation, or you know, if they just need to talk through their fears to enable them to make decisions, to just get in touch with you. And
It's really easy. Contact at ivf-spain.com.
amazing.
And we're done.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Zara, for the invitation. And as I told you the last time, always here. Please contact me and we can organize new chats.
Wonderful. Thank you.